Okay guys, so now you have been successful on your trap line, and now the fun part. Comes time to skin these critters out. So anyways, most people you see on YouTube and TV, they've got big skinning machines and hoists and stuff. I would have a wind chip here if I was still trapping hard, but if you're just trapping occasionally, only putting up a few furs, all I got here is a string drilled through an old piece of a deer antler, paracord. It's wrapped it around the 2x4s in our ceiling. So you don't need anything fancy, especially if you're only doing a few furs. Shoot, you could do a coon down on the ground. Most coon hunters will after they kill them out. So anyways, most important thing I can tell you is have a good knife. When I was younger, tried to skin critters with dull knives, and it just sucks. Just spend the money and get you a good knife. I got this Weeby knife here from F&T online. It was like, I don't remember, like $15, $20, and this thing is tough as steel. It's held up for a long time. So any knife will do. Just make sure you keep it sharp. And when you clean the critter, especially a coon, you want to use your knife as little as possible. I know that sounds kind of contradictory to what I just said, but you want to use that knife as little as possible. Less holes. Anyways, so I'm going to brush them out, make sure I ain't got no cuckleburrs or anything in him. Which this coon I know shouldn't have. But anyways, fluff them all up. Alright, so first thing you're going to want to do, start at your bottom leg, right below the pad, right here. Okay? Stick your knife in there. Make a straight line. Go straight up towards the butt. Right there here. Okay? Now, when you get down around the butthole, and there's nuts there, go right in between his nuts and his butthole. Okay? All the way up. There. Now you got a perfectly straight line through here, as you can see. Started here at his bottom paw, went all the way up to the top one. Now from here, what I like to do, start here around the vent and cut around it. You don't need that in your fur. I just cut a circle here, go all the way around it. Should be able to start at the top and make 2 lines on each side. If I can get his tail straightened out here. He's got a knot in his tail. He's got like a hard knot in his. There we go. So now you got your thumb stuck through there. Take your thumb in your opposite hand, take your thumb and push against his back. Like push him out and push down, and take this other finger and pull the fur towards you. Just like this. And it'll roll back. There we go. And now you get your whole hand in there. And just take him, pull him down. There. Now you got a window in here to work with. And just take your fist, like I said, just roll him down. Just like that. Keep them rolling. Okay. Now when you get up here to the tail, you have to go back to your knife for a minute. And just use the tip of your knife and ease your way around him. These tails are easy to cut through, so you just got to get it down far enough that you can put your tail zipper on there. Okay. Okay, go down a little further. Switch to my tail zipper here. Put that on, and don't ever start it right up here against the fur. Start it up a little bit, and then when you go to pull, it gets momentum with it. And I find it easier to pull the tail off. So, zipped out. Some of them tails you gotta fight with. Them tails can be a booger sometimes, and they don't want to come out. Okay, from here you should be able to roll him. Take his tail, Wrap it around. Pull one down. Make sure these feet down here are straight. Wrap that tail around one wrist, take the other one, ease them down. Okay. Now, can that see these front legs?
No.
Take that and wind it down a bit. Keep going. Can it now?
Not really.
Hold up. Take that camera and unscrew.
That's good.
You can see like the head and everything?
You can see the bottom part now.
Okay. Good?
Yeah.
Alright. How to get that camera adjusted. Okay, so now you got down here these front legs. Take them and you can just pull them out. Work your thumb down until you can stick it through. The skin will get real light here. Pop your thumb through there. Same thing as the tail. Take this thumb and this finger and push them opposite directions. His armpit just like that. There we go. Get one leg out. Go over to the other side. Don't use your knife down here around these front legs. Their skin gets very thin down here around their neck. Very easy to put holes in your fur. Okay, work them down. Get your thumb through there. Push, pull. Okay. Now, I keep a dull knife, well, my dull knife. I keep a knife that I use to cut around my fur, and when I get down to the head, around the bone. Because fur and bone is really hard on these good knives, so keep an extra knife with you, a cheaper one. And that's what I use, or a pair of scissors would do. And I just go around this ball, got one leg out. Cut around them. Trying to keep them where I can see them here. There we go, front paws are out. Now, should be able to pull a few more inches down till you get to about his ears. Okay, there we go. Now here you have to finish with your knife. He's not gonna pull too easy. You get down to your ears. Take your knife, like I said, just use the tip of your knife, just swipe it. Don't try to cut too deep with your knife. That's where holes happen. Just like that, work them around. Try to cut away from the fur, like angle your knife back up towards his body. Okay. There. Now you get down to these bumps here. These are his ears. I take my other knife, cut straight into them, just like that. There. There. Pop one ear out. Go back to my sharp knife. Separate the skin from the ear. Come over to the other ear, cut straight in. There, both ears are out. Now, when you get down here to these eyes, if you're selling your coon green to a local fur buyer, which means you're not going to flesh him and dry him, it doesn't really matter, but you got to be careful on critters. Coons, coyotes, all of them will do it. When you get down these eyes, if you keep cutting and pulling past, you'll do what they call big eyeing them. And what that does is it takes that whole of that eye and stretches it out. So when you get to these eyes, make sure you use your knife and cut back up towards the top of the eye. Find the eyeball and I cut right above it until your skin separates from him. See there? And now you got a small eye hole. Same way at the other side. There we go. Don't pull too hard on because them eyeballs will stretch dang near their ear if you pull on them too much. They're real soft. Okay. Switch back to my other knife. Get down here around the jaw on these teeth. It gets real bony, so it's hard on your knives. Keep working them down. down here in the nose. Alright, just like that. Now this bottom lip, you ain't gonna go all the way down with it, just cut it off. Because that bottom lip doesn't get graded anyways. You'll cut that off when you go to stretch them. If you're stretching them. Cut straight to that nose, and there you go. There's a skid coon. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take him out to the hose, and I'll wash his fur out, and then I'll pop him, just like like a wet towel. You flip it, and it'll dang near dry him enough to where you put him on a board. So I'm gonna get him cleaned off, and I'll see you over at the fleshing board.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So now you need to, if you're gonna really get into fleshing, get you a mountain belt for this fleshing beam. I don't have one here. I'm literally just setting on a cinder block because I'm only doing a few coons this year to send to tannery. I'm not trapping hard, or I'd have me a little thing built here where this just sits on permanently. I'm just throwing this together quick to show you guys flesh them out. But if worse comes to worse and you don't have time or a place to build one, you could always just grab a cinder block, throw your board on there. Kind of hurts your back, but it is what it is. Anyways, so now we're gonna flesh them out. First thing I'm gonna do, we're gonna grab our tail zipper, get in there, zip his tail. That's open. Okay, get him on this board. As you can see, I got this big rubber apron on. These coons are greasy, so I highly suggest you buy one of these cheap rubber aprons. This one was like, I don't know, $8. So, alright, also fleshing knives. I use a Necker 600. Got some feathers on there. Anyways, this, if you're just going to be fleshing occasionally, this is a great knife. This is like a mid-range, mid-price knife. They get real expensive, like a couple $100 down to cheap ones that are like $20. This one here, if I remember right, was like $60. It's a good fleshing knife. This has done hundreds of critters, so I highly recommend it. A Necker 600. Spend the money and get this good moderate priced one. But anyways, so first thing you're gonna do when you start, like I like to do when I start a coon, is I like to start on his belly. His belly is real soft, and the only spot that you have to use the sharp end of your knife here will be around up underneath the ears, behind the head, on the neck. But for the rest of it, you should just be able to push it. Alright, so when you go to push your coons, don't hold your knife like this. That'll tear holes. You're pushing it. You're laying it dang near flat, and you're just pushing it off, okay? So here we go. So I'm starting underneath the armpit here. Put one leg up there on the corner of my board. Start here, laying against it. Start pushing them down. Just like that there. Rolls right off. Don't get in too big of a hurry. When you get better at it, you can get faster at it, but they're easy to rip when you go to pushing. Down here, when you get around where his penis is, that's real easy to get caught on. You get your knife stuck on that and it'll rip them. So watch when you get there. Also, this is a boar. If you get a sow on her belly, her nipples, they tear very easy. So if you get a sow, make sure you watch for them. Luckily, I ain't gonna mess with that here, but okay, just roll that off, just like that. And I'm gonna start here and go around this because I'll show you when I go to boarding. This here don't matter anyways because I'm gonna make an inspection window. So you'll cut most of this belly off anyways. They're great in the back of your fur, not the front. So keep pushing. You don't want to scrape too much. If you start scraping and you start seeing hair poke through your hide, you're too thin, way too thin. Don't scrape that much. You just want to scrape till it's all white. Get that fat off there, but don't go so thin that your hair starts poking through your hide. So, anyways. Okay, see that nice and white? A little bit more up here underneath the armpits. Coons are really good to start on if you're wanting to get into fleshing. Coyotes and beaver are a lot harder. Coons roll off, so they're a good thing to practice on. And the way the fur market is now, if you mess up, you're not going to be losing much anyways. So coons are a good thing to start people on. Also, hey, can you grab that pair of vice grips up there? I'll go over here to this other leg. Okay, so underneath this right or this left armpit here. Like I said, keep your knife flat. Just rolling that fat off. Second you turn it like this, you're really gonna rip a hole in him. Down here we get around that meat. Gets a little bit tougher. Just really gotta push it. Go. Okay, now flipping back here to the back, just keep working your way around. I'll take a pair of vice grips here, just a small pair of vice grips, and I'll clamp him up here, right up against my board, and that'll help hold him. Take it right there, put your vice grips on. Oh, yeah, see, and this is why you need to stand and don't just set it up against your wall at the cinder block. But it is what it is. Anyways, so I got the vice grip on there. Now we're gonna work down his back. Back here got a little bit more meat, a little bit tougher, so might have to push a little bit more, but it'll roll off there. Just keep at it. Get them legs real good. You wanna go all the way down, make sure you get around these edges. A lot of people will stop up here. When their fat falls off, you gotta make sure the edges are clean. Alright. Hold up a second. I'm gonna switch my cinder block. I'm gonna put my foot in it. Slipping around on me. Alright. Get down here. Good around the tail. That. Also guys, wear gloves. I don't have gloves on right now. I thought I had some here, I don't. But you need to wear, I would wear gloves if I were you. Don't take after me. These coons are nasty. So, gonna be using the Dawn pretty heavy after this. Alright, just like that. Get your body gripped. There we go. Now pull them all the way up here. Let's get this fat off here. Okay. Alright. Like I said, this year guys, I just did not get into it very heavy, so I don't have everything set up like I normally do. So, kind of unorganized here. Alright. Alright, now, when you get down into this tail, it really doesn't have a lot of fat in it. But right here above the tail does, and these little holes here, like see this little one here, them's like tick bites and just wounds I've got on their hide. That's not really gonna hurt nothing. Don't stress too much about that. Go down that tail. Okay, Just like that. Okay. Make sure you get down these bottom legs really good. Alright. A little bit more there. Okay. There we go, the back's finished. Now, bright, pretty white coon. Now, we're going to go up to the hardest part on these suckers. Pull him all the way down on the board. Get a little bit more fat right here. Pull them all the way down. Now, get here behind these ears. It gets tough, so take your sharp end of your knife, and when you cut, you're not really cutting, you're more slicing. You take it, make sure he stays tight, and start here and just use the edge of your knife. Just ease them down. Get on my board tight enough. Okay? Okay, just like that. My knife actually probably needs to be sharpened. I haven't been sharpened I don't know how long. But take them just like that. Just roll your knife down it. Be very easy because this is where holes happen right here. Just take your time with them. Be real easy. When you get them down far enough, you can start pushing again. Alright. My camera turned off on me. I don't know what happened there. But so, anyways, you got them behind the mirrors done. That needs a little bit more. I'll scrape that in a second. But now, flip them over. And here, make sure his nose is all the way tight down on there. Starting here below this bottom jaw. This stuff here is thin. You should be able to push that off. That red meat, just be careful when you go over them arms. You'll tear them. Okay, just like that. Start here with these ears. Make sure he stays tight. When your hide starts binding up on you, you don't want to roll it off because that's another way to put holes in them. Alright. A little bit more there behind underneath the ear. Alright. Oh, I missed a section. Right here by this ear. You can use your knife to get it started, just like that. And then you should be able to push it off. There she goes. Some of this stuff up here, guys, it leaves thick spots. Just go back with your knife, chop those off. Just like that. Alright, there's a fleshed coon. Alright guys, so there we are. There's a flesh coon. Now I'll show you how to get them on the board. Alright guys, so now we're going to put them on the board. They got wire stretchers or wooden stretchers. In my opinion, you get a lot better presentation and your coon looks a lot better on a wood board. But wire stretchers are a whole lot faster. But we're going to put them on a wood board because I'm not doing many, so not really worried about putting up a ton of fur. Take your coon, flip them inside out here. Just like that, alright. Now, the numbers, I got these boards from F&T. You can make your own, I didn't, I just bought some. These dimensions you can get online. Just look up NAFA, North America Fur Auction, and they'll have your dimensions for them. But I got XL, 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X. I've also got some smaller boards, but most of your coons should fit on your large boards. Anyways, the back always goes on the number side. So where your lines are, that's where they're measuring. They're measuring this back. And as you can see here, I left a little bit of fat. But you can, if you accidentally find some that you left on there when you go back after you stretch, you can just take your knife and cut that off real easy. But anyways, get them on there. All the way down to his nose. Okay? Make sure he's on there straight. Okay? Anyways. You want them completely straight on there. Now, this here, a lot of people try to overstretch. Don't overstretch your coon. You're not getting more money for it. You're just going to make it look bad. What he's at is what he's at. So if he's XL, don't try to stretch to a, 2X. There's no reason for that. So, got him on here straight. Pull him down. This coon here is going to make 3X. So see where he's at? He's at 3X. He's just about half an inch shy of it. That's when you can stretch a little bit. Pin him there. Okay. Oh, fill my pocket full of. Okay. So you can use staples, nails, whatever. I use push pins. Kind of hurts your fingers over time. Staple gun is probably a lot quicker, but if you're only doing a few, push pins are fine. All right. So get him there. Make sure when you do it, you don't want him to look like a V. You don't want to pull his tail way down like that. You want to square him off. He should be straight across, straight line on that, on your 3X line. That's where you want his back at, completely straight. Okay. Go ahead and put a pin in there. Okay, another pin. Where that sags, it makes that little U. Pull it down. Put a pin in it. Okay. This tail, like I said, don't pull on it or it looks like that. Keep it straight. Open it up just like that. Pin him up. Just like that there. See how that's a perfect straight line? That's how you want them. I guess some more push pins. Or tacks. I guess these are tacks. They're not really push pins. What are these, tacks or push pins?
Call them push pins.
Alright, push pins. Okay, now before we pin that tail down, I'm going to flip him over here. There's his belly, okay? Take his front 2 feet, just like this. Pull them down. Stretch them all the way down. Get you a pin in there. Put another pin. I always put 2 pins in my feet, my front legs. Great. Okay, just like that. Okay, now flip it back over. Alright, now for the tail. The tail you don't want to stretch real thin. I actually just leave mine bunched up a little bit, leaves that tail looking nice and fluffy when they're done. Let me get a little handful here. Okay, Now you want to leave that tail open. You want that to be completely open. That way it dries good. Otherwise that'll fill full of oil and you'll have trouble getting it dry. Okay. Like I said, a staple gun saves you a lot of time if you're putting up a lot of fur, but I also don't like digging staples out of my boards, so that's why I use push pins. And it takes quite a few push pins to go all the way down the tail, but that's alright. One more. Alright, so there he is. See how that's nice and square and the tail's pushed up? Nice pretty white coon. Alright, now he's on the board. Give me 1 second, I forgot my knife. Alright, alright guys, now that you've got him on the board, what you want to do is first I start off what they call your inspection window. It's just all this is doing is making them look pretty. That's not really that good on my knife. Probably should grab my other one. It's alright. Take that once you get started and just pull around just like that. It should slide right off. Don't cut way out here. Just take, I don't know, ½ inch or so off. Go all the way up, and on a male, I go all the way up to above his penis right there. Okay, and that's where I stop, and I just ease them back down. Keep tension on your fur, and it'll just slide right down with you. Alright, there we go. See how it's got a nice pretty oval window? Then come up here to your legs, and you don't need them, so cut your front legs down short, leave about 1 inch sticking up, just like that. Come over here, cut this one. Okay.
Timber!
We'll edit that one out. Alright, last part. Not last part, but the last part you're going to trim. Come up here around his lip. Start about halfway down his bottom lip. Do the same thing you did to the belly. Just like that. Cut his bottom lip off. Ain't no one want coon lips in their fur coat in Russia. Know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hold this up. Usually I have it sitting on my table, but... Alright, done dropping my board. Okay, so there he is. All ready for presentation. Now, last thing you gotta do, don't ever forget, you've done that before. Get you a wedge, your belly board. Slide it right up there in his belly. Come out the front lip. Pull it up to where this thicker part of it is in there. That way when he dries, you'll be able to get him off the board. Otherwise, he'll seal to that board, you have to cut him off. So there it is, guys. Finished coon. You went out with us on the trap line, watched how we do some of our sets. I showed you how to skin and flesh, even though it wasn't the most professional video, but that was just a quick crash course on how we catch a lot of our coons. So hope you found it somewhat helpful. And yeah, go out there and trap. And if you like the video, like, subscribe, let me know. If you guys want more, I'll start trapping. We'll make another coon video. We need to do one with water sets if you guys want to see that. We're actually about to go out now and film some coyote sets. So that video will be up before long, not long after this one. And yeah, appreciate you. We'll see you out there.